We're learning more this midday about the men arrested in San Diego on terrorism charges.
Yeah, the FBI says the men are of Somali descent and that they were trying to fly to Syria to join ISIS. We have team coverage of the arrest, including Marie Cornell, with reaction from the local Somali community. But we start with 10 News reporter Jared Aarons, who's live downtown, where those two men will be in court this afternoon. Jared?
Yes, they will, Virginia. At 2 p.m., Mohammed Farah and Abdurrahman Daoud will be inside this courthouse, the federal court building downtown, each facing 4 charges of supporting terrorism. The FBI says they were trying to cross the border from San Diego to Mexico and then fly to Syria to start fighting with ISIS.
They were not confused young men. They were not easily influenced. These are focused men who are intent on joining a terrorist organization by any means possible.
It's a win in the war on terror, a 10-month FBI investigation ending with 6 men arrested for trying to join ISIS, 2 of them in San Diego.
Nothing stopped these defendants from pursuing their goal.
According to the criminal complaint, all 6 men tried multiple times to travel to Syria, even after other members of their group had been arrested.
Recruited each other, supported each other's efforts to get to Syria, helped each other with funding, and worked exclusively and extensively to come up with the best travel arrangements.
The FBI learned of the plot from a 7th conspirator who turned himself in and agreed to record the group's planning meetings. The FBI calls the conspiracy peer-to-peer recruiting and says it may be more dangerous because it's harder to track.
The person radicalizing your son, your brother, your friend may not be a stranger. It may be their best friend right here in town.
Because of that, Lugar added, this isn't an immigrant problem or a Somali problem. It is all of our problems. Live downtown, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
Thank you, Jared. We continue our team coverage with 10 News reporter Marie Cornell, who's live in City Heights, where local Somali community leaders are talking about what they're planning to do to fight this peer-to-peer recruitment. Marie?
Well, Virginia, the president of the Somali Family Services, their office is right there. He tells me he wasn't even aware of this type of recruitment, but he says they are determined to be the front line to keep that out of their neighborhoods.
Really concerned, and I think we've been very proactive to be able to educate the community and bring these issues and discuss them.
And that's what Hamid Saeed plans to do after 2 Somali men were arrested in San Diego, accused of trying to get to Syria by way of fake passports out of Mexico to join the terrorist group ISIS. Federal officials say they are part of a new form of recruitment called peer-to-peer, driven by the influences of friends and family members. As president of the Somali Family Services, Saeed puts it on himself to keep the young in the Somali community away from trouble. And even though the men arrested are from Minnesota and ended up in San Diego, he doesn't want that influence leaking into their neighborhoods.
Anytime you don't reach out to the youth, anytime you don't help them to transition and adjust, and they feel that they've been isolated and they're not really succeeding, they're very vulnerable, this kind of situation.
Saeed says that's why they have programs like the Lions or Leaders in Our Neighborhoods to give teens an outlet to turn to.
And I think programs like this are the safeguard of kids falling into any system, whether it's extremism, whether it's other conflict that exists, other crimes. And again, I think it's very important to be able to provide those educational and support system in place for the family, for the youth.
Now, Saeed tells me he plans on holding a meeting so he can discuss these issues with the community, but he's still working out those details. Live from City Heights, Marie Cornell, 10 News.
Thank you, Marie. Team 10 is digging into the backgrounds of the men who were arrested here and what ties they have to the community. We'll also be in court as those men are arraigned. We'll have full coverage today at 5 and on our mobile app.